Welcome to this week's edition of Common Sense Consulting Weekly Video. Today, valuable initial meetings. Now, this is a question that came in from one of you, as several now have, and I'm addressing here this morning, or this afternoon, or whenever you're watching this. Valuable initial meetings as compared to non-valuable initial meetings, or perhaps invaluable initial meetings. You only get one first impression. I tell people this all the time. That's why your home page is the most important part of your website. That's the first impression. So you might have stuff buried deep inside, you might have position papers and testimonials all inside. Doesn't do you any good in terms of first impression. The first 90 seconds of a speech, people determine how closely to listen to you for the rest of the speech. I've used up that already. The first paragraph of an article, people determine how carefully to read the rest of the article. So you only get one first impression. And if you want to have a valuable initial meeting, the first impression is everything. So let me skip over the obvious. Dress for success, the way you dress. Look like you're successful. Wear an expensive suit, expensive accessories, have your shoes shined, things like that. Have your hair done, ladies wear the right makeup, yada yada. But for the initial meeting, here's what you have to keep in mind. Assuming this is a buyer, what are your objectives for the meeting? What is your port of call? What is your destination? A valuable meeting has to be valuable to the person sitting across from you, not just you. So where do you want to go and how do you bring the other person with you? And I suggest that you have to establish a peer relationship early. You have to establish a conversation, not an interview, not a sales pitch, not a grilling, not an interrogation. It has to be collegial, has to be peer level. And so a good way to start this initial meeting is to say, Carl, I appreciate getting to meet you today. I always ask people the same question at a first meeting. What prompted you to allot this time? What prompted you to want to spend this time with me today? That's one way to start this initial meeting. Another way is to say, Carl, I know that we're both busy. See, that's the peer level relationship. That's the dynamic. I know we're both busy. I have 2 or 3 objectives I'd like to accomplish. I'm sure you might. Why don't we make a note of them and so we use our time correctly? Another way to start. Carl, my understanding is you have 45 minutes. It's now 10 o'clock, so we'd have to break by 10:45, and maybe around 10:40, you and I will decide what the next steps are. Does that make sense to you? So set the groundwork early. Establish early that you're a peer and establish where it is that you want to go, but be receptive to where the other person wants to go. Now, my most valuable tip of all here, I think, is the following. You must stay in the moment. Don't have a prepared script. Don't think too hard about the very next thing you want to say. Don't be anxious or eager to anticipate what someone else says so you can jump in with the right answer. This is not some kind of crazy baseball game where you want to try to hit every pitch out of the park. Even the best hitters can't hit a low curve very well. Even the best hitters only hit about 3 pitches out of 10, only hit about 300 or so. It's more like volleyball, but a friendly game where you want to keep it over the net, back and forth, no kill shots. And so keep the conversation percolating. If you want a valuable first meeting, create the right first impression, create the ground rules, stay in the moment, and listen to what the other person says, always looking for opportunities to establish value, and see which of your baskets the other person's concerns and comments may fall into. Listen for what's important to them that also matches up with your competencies and passions, and take the conversation in that direction. And remember, any eventual sale, any eventual business relationship is made of a series of small yeses, not one gigantic yes. So what's your next step? Is it a next meeting? Is it conceptual agreement? Is it a proposal? Is it a follow-up on the proposal? Where are you going next? Hit your marks. Keep to your time frame. And remember to ask the other person frequently if they have any questions or if there's anything that could get in the way of a further relationship. That's how you hit your time frames, and that's how you get what you need, just like now.